The last couple of months have been a bit of a meta lull, as many of the same decks have been hitting events over and over again.
While the diversity in the meta is great, the evolution is stalled, pushing local advocates to get creative with their event formats.
We take a look at some of the more recent developments in locally created alternative event formats that may give you inspiration for the next time your weekly group needs some new ideas.
This is episode 92, Keeping It Different.
You have been well trained.
No. You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Or do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
That went the other. You should go the other direction.
Yeah.
I will next time. I had to get it across the thing.
All right. I'm back, everybody. Sorry I was gone last week.
Mike's back! Mike had the plague.
Mike had his whole family had the plague, it sounded
Seriously. We kind of all still do have the plague, so if I skedaddle, you know what's happened. I've died.
Oh, well, that's horrible.
Are they going to put you on a cart and bring out your dead? Bring out your dead!
Yep, they're just going to throw me on one of those people carts.
Gone.
Yes.
Bring out your dead.
Oh,
it's
man.
a great board game, by the way, too.
Bring out your dead?
Yes.
It's a great board game. Oh, my God. It's so fun. It's about that. It's you have a little cat. Anyway, that's a different show.
Yeah,
That's a different
It's
show.
really fun.
Let's talk about Destiny.
Man. Let's talk about Destiny. Let's talk about Way of the Force is like right around the corner.
Good Lord.
It's
It's
like
like-
right around the corner.
We thought I think
can't-
we were thinking August, and now it's like tomorrow.
Well, in true FFG fashion, we don't know a date. We don't have a date. We don't know a date. Next week!
Yeah.
That's kind of their thing.
That's kind of their thing. Well, I mean, it's kind of their thing.
I guess they really don't know how quickly the product is going to get here. So as soon as the product lands, they're like, oh, we can set a date, and let's set the quickest date possible. Otherwise, the stores are going to tell people that the product's already there, and then people are really going to be asking when the date's going to be.
I mean, it is 2018. You think they've got some sort of like tracker on their slow boat from China shipment?
They do. It's on
You
their
would
website.
At this rate, though, there's not going to be any new cards coming out of that box because we've seen 90% of them.
How many have we seen? We got 21 more tonight. I think we're.
know. And there's more coming from what I heard. So
Yeah, tonight some people are supposed to be dropping some.
Well, it's interesting because I did see someone mention the other day with Legacies, Europe got it first, so we saw them all before we had our hands on the cards. So
because we had rivals instead.
So we may not get all of them before, which would be great. It'd be nice to open a pack and be like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen this before." I mean, when have we gotten that?
Not in a while.
It's been too long.
Been too long.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, but I mean, because of Way of the Force, I think I put my Jawa deck building on hold. I know.
Oh, what?
I actually built it, but I didn't pull the
Ooh,
dice
Jawa.
out. I know. Old Jawa. Old Jawa.
Ujawa.
Jawa.
Wrong song. Wrong words. Yeah. So I put my Jawa deck building on hold because I know there may be some good neutral cards coming out that may make it like better. Probably not.
I don't know if better's an okay word for it, I guess. Like
Better's an okay word. Well, I mean, it's fun, right? Jawas are always there.
I was gonna say it's for funsies. So
right. That's cool. Either of you looking forward to anything exciting, or I know Destiny's. Or I know we've seen it all, right? I know Destiny's been a little slow, and that's the whole purpose of the show. Actually, is to get people a little more excited about some new ideas. But have you seen anything out there? You're like, oh, Destiny. This is what's got me tickled with Destiny now, or you're like
that card, Way of the Force. So it's like
isn't that
training,
sick?
right? Yeah. So now my Callous Maul deck can be a legitimate 4-die deck first turn, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, if I can grab a resource quickly and get this 3-cost out. Yeah, when I saw that, that's the first thing I thought of. So
Yeah, that's the only card you want. That's the card. That's the only card you're mulliganing for in any deck like that. Like that's
yeah, that would be a play in that deck would be for sure mulliganing to get away with the Force.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I could. That one. Woo! That really could be a game changer. I mean, just to open up a lot of possibilities for like that's crazy.
Matthew Scott is suggesting a Sith Holocron.
Oh.
And you,
That's not going to happen in trilogy format unless we
true.
get
Way of the Force is an ability. It's an ability upgrade, so it would work with a Sith holocron. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I do like
Scott.
that. But I'm looking toward that trilogy format. I really think that's the format that I'm going to be sticking to.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
I can't get my neighborhood kids to get as excited about draft as I am. Like that's, and I thought with new sets coming out, like yeah, let's do draft, and they're like, eh. So we'll see. See if we can like early on's a little bit more fun than later in a set when you've already bought everything. So we'll see. We're trying to convince some folks to
right. This is the time. This is the time for draft. Is get out there and go to a draft event, and you're basically paying for new packs. This is the best time for draft. Oh man, I can't wait to hear about all these Way of the Force drafts.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to show some drafts.
That'd be great. I'm so excited.
That would be great.
Well, speaking of Way of the Force, let's not waste any time. But before we jump into the news, I want to alert to anybody who's watching the channel right now. You're going to see there's a bar at the top here. It's our preview show. We're getting ready to launch a summer July full of exciting streams here over the Chance Cube. We're looking to support both our coverage of the Nova Open Nationals. The live streaming over there does come with a price tag for us that we're trying to get some help covering. At the same time, we're trying to help out the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. So 50% of all donations will go towards them, and 50% will go towards affording that live stream cost that we're going to have to deal with. So if you're watching this live, you see a donation bar at the top of the screen. You can head to thechancecube.com/Nova, or at the bottom, if you're watching live, there's a donate to support us button beneath the video. You can click there. Any amount of donation is going to be helpful to move that bar closer to our goal. But we'll have some really cool stuff coming in July, including probably the longest unboxing video as me and Sarah crack open all of our packs on the stream.
You're gonna get a hand cramp.
How many?
Yeah.
You need a calculator.
All 2 cases.
Calculator.
Man, that's not 2 boxes,
calculator
people.
math.
2 cases.
That's 12 boxes. Yeah, that's why we both crack them open. And if you're around, yeah, and of course we need to get 4 of everything because we don't share very well. So we try to get 4 of everything, but anything more than 4 of may be up for grabs for anybody watching the stream. Maybe some random raffles.
Nice.
Should be fun. So check that out. It's coming soon. Probably on release day.
Cool.
If not before, probably not before. Depends on how nice my shop is to me, and if I'll get in trouble.
You get in trouble.
Probably get in trouble.
Don't.
Anyways, let's jump into the news.
Let me take that back, huh? You'll find what you need.
Oh, Mr. Snoke.
Missed us. You know, it's funny. The spoilers are coming so fast and furious. I'm having to go back to our Facebook page to try and catch all the ones that we released that we grabbed from our peers. I mean, I think we're still about 2 or 3 content creators shy of getting all the spoilers that are out there. I think we heard that you said discard to reroll, maybe? Discard to reroll
had posted on his Twitter page today that he was going to have some tonight. And I believe Golden Dice. Golden Dice, yes, thank you.
Very cool. But there's still 21 cards that have been revealed since our last show, last show I think we only had 6 to talk about. So there was a big new wave between FFG's articles and the content creators that are out there. And this one, you said, Kim, you haven't seen this one yet.
That one. Well, before I get to that one, I am going to say we have a contender for worst looking card in the set that was spoiled.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get there. This could be, I don't know. Like I did see someone. So, whoa, gosh, what was the card from the early set that was the rebel person screaming like crazy? They took her face and put it on this card, and it was sort of like.
Are you talking about Rookie Pilot?
No, before Rookie Pilot. This is it was some kind of an escape. Oh gosh, it was an explosion scene on the card.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. It's a red villain one. Someone's gonna let us
She's
know.
going like it's I can't think of what it is. But when we get to it, it wasn't Rookie Pilot. It was prior to that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I don't know.
Rookie Pilot is the derp of this.
Anyways, we do have some spoilers from Way of the Force that have been released by our content creator peers, as well as Fantasy Flight themselves.
Emergency evacuation. Thank you.
There you go.
Sorry.
First of which is Snoke, the Supreme Leader, which I'm a little surprised they went on the lower point scale, kind of like they did with Yoda. 11 normal, 13 elite, 11 health, 2 indirect, 1 focus, 2 focus, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, a blank, with a power action that says deal 1 damage to another one of your characters to resolve one of its character dice, increasing its value by 2.
That's a decent trade-off. It's kind of like Baby Vader's special that he had.
Oh, where he damaged
himself and then do 3. So that's
we're
really get that crack looked at in his head. There's got to be some Vader's cock or something that he could put in there.
Right, they got all that technology and you can't get that fixed.
You never
your
know.
face is busted, buddy. He just doesn't care. He's a supreme leader. He doesn't care.
He's like, what? Whatevs. My head's cracked.
Come at me, bro.
Kind of looks like my butt. Whatever.
Okay, well, let's just go over the card. How about that?
That's how I feel about that card. Like,
I mean, but
lots of focus on this one. I'm not really sure who to pair him with yet.
There's a lot. I mean, I think even he'll be probably seen normal for a lot of folks because of his power action. Like, forget his dice. Although his dice are pretty good.
Do you think he's the villain's answer to Yoda with all the focus and the power action?
I absolutely do think he is. I mean, he doesn't manipulate your dice in the turning around sense, but I mean, you roll out Snoke and you roll out. I mean, you could pair him with a 17 or 19 point character that may have a 3 side, and all of a sudden in turn 1 you can resolve that 3 for 5.
Or you can make it 3 wide and then get that Way of the Force and make him elite. Or was that hero?
No, it's the Way of the Force. I think is neutral.
Oh, it's villain.
We'll get there.
Villain.
Way of the Force is neutral. It's got a villain image, but it is neutral.
Oh, sweet.
So they're set.
Oh, snap!
I don't know why I went to that. There we go.
Snap's a different set, Jason. We're on Way of the Force.
Vehicle.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
I'm extra lippy today. Ask my coworkers.
Of course, now Snoke is limited to character dice, so that's something. But still, I think you're going to get a lot of utility out of him, and it kind of like in a way of like C-3PO, right? It doesn't have to be. You don't have to use it for damage. You could increase a focus by 2. You can increase a discard by 2. I mean, this could be a great way to get a villain mill deck out there. Pair him with Thrawn or Unkar, or I mean.
Yeah, I'm seeing a Thrawn Snoke recommended in the chat, as well as a Kylo Snoke. That seems very thematic.
Mm-hmm.
Kylo Snoke would be pretty heavy hitting, and I like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say with a big
That 2 focus side is really nice, and a resource side, great. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he pairs up.
The blank side's all I care about, Mike.
That's the best side.
The blank side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it a thing.
Villains are taking a big look at this. Do some self-inflicted damage for some power. The next card here is a Power from Pain, which is a 0 resource cost villain event for blue. Spot 2 blue characters or Snoke. We've seen this kind of language a lot. To deal 1 damage to one of your characters, then turn one of that character's character upgrade dice to any side. So a free manipulation, but you have to do some damage to yourself. And 1 damage especially when you're looking at shields. If you get some shields out there, it's not a bad thing. I also my OCD is driving me nuts because this is card number 9 and it's not a dice card, so I'm really confused as how they're numbering this set.
They should have just stuck with all the dice cards in the front of the set.
And Snoke is 4, so you've only got a few cards between the 2 of these. Oh, that's gonna be annoying.
They're gonna do it by color, I'm sure. By color and faction.
Color and faction.
And then, I was gonna say, I bet you they put all those, like how I didn't really look at the numbers as they released them to us, like with all the symmetry and stuff, like how closely numbered those cards were.
It's gonna be it's gonna make doing. I have to reinvent the price watch. It's okay.
I think I just heard Jim groan downstairs.
We got another villain character. We got the non-unique character from the set, the Force-sensitive outcast. 1 range, 2 range, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, a blank. While this character has 1 or more damage on her, decrease the cost of the first blue ability you play on her each round by 1. 9 points to play. So this is, I guess, their response to the Padawan. It's been a while, but it's very similar for the Padawan, but
it's
limited to blue abilities. And you have to have she has to be damaged. So I guess it kind of pairs, like there's a reason to damage her, which would make Snoke a good person to put him or her with. I guess it's a her.
I think it's a her.
It specifically says her in the text, so.
Oh, it does. Well, thank you for pointing that out.
I'm not really sure why. I don't know why, but I guess they had to pick the way they described it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I see her getting in that role of just soaking up the damage that you got to put out so that you can still do what you want with your heavy hitter or something like that.
Is there a villain card that would give her Guardian?
Probably.
There's too many. I can't keep up.
Right.
I can't remember.
Well, I mean, you look at something like it's been a while since they've developed a card with self-inflicting damage, but between Night Sister and, like you said, Kylo, sorry, not Kylo, Anakin, Baby Vader, this is we're bringing back the idea that pain is what the dark side fuels his power on.
Right.
Oh my!
It is very thematic. I like that.
Speaking of, then there's pain and then there's healing, because Darkseid, not like it needs another healing card, can bring back characters from the dead.
So this is cooler than Rise Again.
It's cooler than, oh yeah, because Rise Again, the character has to be alive. I mean, Rise Again lets you bring a free upgrade, but this one lets you take a defeated character, bring it back to the game, exhaust it, and place damage equal to half of its health rounded down. So
I like it better. I like it better than Rise Again because you can Rise Again is very situational. You have to play it at the right time or else it's not going to work, or maybe you haven't dug it out in time. This card, by the time you dig it out, you can play it. So.
Well, and it would be, that's one that you hang on to, I feel like, towards the end when your opponent thinks they have you on the rails and you can then bring somebody back.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're probably only getting 5 or 6 damage left on them, but that could be enough to swing and hit and turn the tide back in your favor.
Especially if you got a bunch of redeploys out there or something, and I don't know.
But
That's the downside is the character comes back and the character has nothing. There's no upgrades. There's no nothing. So
yeah, 5 resources is a little tough to come up with, though.
Well, not if you're playing Snoke and you resolve a resource side for 3.
Yeah, fair enough.
For 1 damage.
You'd almost want to build around the idea this is going to be played. You have to make sure your deck.
Well, yeah, it'd be just like a Rise Again play in a Palpatine deck.
Or a Crime Lord.
You're playing toward those plays to either outlast and mill or have enough longevity to swing in when you don't have a lot of dice to roll every round.
Can you imagine in the old Palpatine normal with some stupid 9-point character, right? And then you can Dark Ritual him back after he's dead. Of course, he'd have to be that. This card is going to make it very interesting to pick characters, because you may go after the weaker character first.
Well, they just did that with young Anakin, right? They really changed the way you think about how you need to attack characters. Anakin was going to build a ton of money, and in this situation, you might need to knock out that smaller character first, just so you don't get Dark Ritualed on a big Palpatine or something like that. Yeah.
Whew. And it's odd, as someone mentioned, I saw in the discussion forum, so Mother Talzin's got another odd card in her arsenal. Torment is an upgrade, 1 resource to play. It's for the villains. It's blue. After attached character is dealt damage, you may exhaust this upgrade to gain 1 resource. So there's your resource generator.
So in 3 sets, I hope we see this as a alt art card. Because
that would be nice.
Yeah, this card I like this art a lot. This is probably one of my favorite
art. For a full art, so yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
They just don't ever do it for the current set, so it'll be in like 3 sets or something.
But it's about to phase out.
That would be good.
Yeah, this would be perfect art for it.
I think we currently don't like upgrades that don't have dice. We feel like it's a waste. But I think this one, it doesn't have a die, but basically every turn you can get a resource from it, so it has a benefit that's lasting.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna say it's helpful early on when you need to really gear up that generation. It's worth utilizing a upgrade slot for it, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But then I use like quick draw holster too. That one's been helpful for me to be able to have that reroll option for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So and Joe makes a good point in the chat. You could have torment on the character and then enrage them. So the enrage would trigger this card, so you get 2 resources instead of the 1.
Having a rough day if you torment them and enrage them.
Well, I mean, we're talking about doing a lot of damage to your blue characters, so
Yeah.
Man.
But again, no trilogy format. Wah, wah. No enrage.
He's like, I'm forgetting about all those cards. Forget those things.
I can't even think about them anymore. All right, let's go to the next card. Torment is an awesome card, though. I really like it. I will play this because a lot of the times you do need resource generation in your blue decks.
And that's hard to come by.
This will help you ramp so much. And it's only 1 resource. You're bound to get hit once your first round. So it's gonna pay for itself instantly.
Or indirect, right? As indirect rises in popularity, like you choose to put damage on a character to get these benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the next card, Way of the Force, I think is the talk of the town right now. 3 resources to play. It's an upgrade ability. It is neutral and play only if you spot a blue character. So a blue character has to be alive.
There's a lot of blue love, I feel like, in this set.
An attached character is elite, so this can be played on. So before we had training, which went on a non-unique character and made it elite. This is any non-elite character, so any normal character can be unique. It doesn't have to be unique. This is great.
Yeah, it can go. The upgrade. I thought that was cool that the upgrade can go on any character. You just have to spot a blue one to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe this is neutral. I can't believe this is neutral. I thought this was a villain card.
Yeah, the artwork kind of will throw us. And I think it's interesting, too, that I think a lot of people will initially react to this card thinking it's villain because of the artwork. But there are options on both sides of the table. And those 5 dice decks now become 6 die character decks. And this is a die card. This is a die upgrade card. And even those 4 character decks, like this would be, oh man, the options. It's hard. Like you could do a whole show on this card.
There's
play
tons
a blue
of options.
and red deck, and then you can play training and this.
Blue red decks are the way to go for this card, I think. That Callous Maul, it's gonna be nasty. We'll see. I'm trying so hard to get it to work.
And this is good too because this is, with every new set, we're like, this is the card, this is not the card. We're totally wrong. Everybody's totally wrong every time. But this is the namesake. Every set has a namesake card, and maybe this one's actually good. Like, who plays Awakening? Well, Kim likes Awakening, but no one else
like Awakening. I'm the only person
who plays Spirit of Rebellion. Like, what does that even do?
I don't even know.
Who plays Empire at War? What does that even do? Who plays 2-player set? What is that? Oh, wait, that's not a card.
I play Sound the Alarm.
Is Rivals a card? I think Rivals is a card.
Yes? No?
Yeah, maybe? Someone in the chat will tell me. Anyways. So that's it for Blue Villain.
Yep.
Let's move on to this villain neutral card that came about, Way of the Dark. Lots of Way of Thus in this set. 1 resource to play. For villains only, choose one of your defeated character's dice and roll it into your pool, so that die aside after it's resolved or removed. So lots of mechanics on making sure those defeated characters can still get some use, which I think is great.
I like this. It's definitely 2 of.
Yeah, for 1 resource.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Get some extra use out of that whatever die with the special, or
The problem is if you pull this early, then you are pitching it to reroll, which isn't bad. You need that.
Yeah, it's hard to hang on to.
Apparently, Way of the Chance Cube and Way of the Jason need to be cards. I think we're getting trolled.
Way of the Jason will have Ewoks on it.
Or porks and
Yeah,
Ewoks.
Porgs and Ewoks.
I miss my
Way of
porks
the
in a
Spirit.
box somewhere.
I need a spirit droid. I like that. Way of the Spirit
I love
droid. I actually had that conversation with somebody today about my case lanyard. Anyway, but
Nice.
Anyways, so moving into villain yellow, lots of villain cards were spoiled this week, which is interesting. I don't know if that was intentional, probably not.
Probably not.
But our friend DJ from The Last Jedi, you can like him or you cannot, but he is a villain card, 11 health, 13, 16. That's always a very kind of precarious point value to deal with.
Yes.
2 range, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, and a blank. After you remove one of an opponent's dice, you may deal 1 indirect damage to that opponent for each die you just removed. What?
Interesting.
Like, if you're playing a control-heavy deck, like, every time you remove a die, I'm sorry, just take some damage.
Bang.
That's
Bang.
that's a good way for control decks to actually get damage out and finish games.
Yeah.
And that your opponent rolls all blanks, and then you power of the force them, or whatever that card is, and all their you remove 7 dice, and now 7 indirect damage because DJ's awesome.
Yeah, or that what's that one where you divide them into 2 pools and you got to remove half?
Mind Trick.
Pool? Yeah, Mind Trick. So there's cards that can come back into play now because of DJ. Anything that can anything that can get rid of more than 1 die is really going to see play. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And his
There's
die
some cool
sides are
It
not
looks
weak
pretty
either.
fun.
2 blaster sides. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad. With no cost. I'm surprised that there's not a pay side on this.
Yeah, and he's pretty well costed
just from a
too.
character. Yeah, just from a character thematic standpoint, I'm really surprised there's not a pay side. I like that there isn't because I hate pay sides, but because I'm
Jog a
cheap.
marathon. I run
kinda
my
wish-
marathons. Thank you very much, Joe. I don't jog.
I kind of wish this card
I
was
just
a neutral.
drive.
I wish DJ was a neutral for some reason.
I'm surprised. Yeah, and I so to me,
I
this
get
leaves the door open that eventually he's gonna not be villain. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's just so that we can eventually make him not.
I don't know. I mean, he turned out to be a villain, but Callus is a villain card, and he turned out to be a hero. So go figure.
And for 16 for elite, that's pretty cheap. That's 4 damage off
For the die
Play
side.
him at 13. Blue yellow's not very good though, so never mind. Say play him at 1 and throw Way of the Force in there.
Yeah, for his die
I mean-
sides and his ability.
And his
definitely.
ability, he's another card that I think play him at normal. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like all you're doing, build a control heavy deck, remove dice every round, and then still do your normal damage.
His ability.
Oh yeah,
His die sides aren't bad, but
put him with a 17 elite thing that's got like blasters and stuff.
Yeah.
Easy. That's a nice, fun deck. Mandalorian Super Commando. We got the villain yellow non-unique character. 1 range, 2 range, 1 melee, 1 shield, and a blank. 9 points for your team. 9 health, and has a power action. Play an equipment or weapon from your hand on this character, then deal 1 damage to a character.
I like.
Can I ask a clarification question?
Absolutely.
I think that I already know the answer to this, but I think that it's unclear when it states play an equipment or weapon from your hand on this character without the parentheses of paying its cost, which we've seen on other cards.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay it to play.
Yeah.
But I feel like somebody would argue that it doesn't say that on the card. It just
Someone
says
will.
play it.
Someone's probably already emailed or posted on the forum or whatever. But
It would
no.
say for free.
Oh, that's true. But like I said, other cards that I've seen will say paying its cost.
Yeah, it will clarify, and I think that's something that hopefully someone won't think that that's the case, because otherwise this card would be, as they say,
So broken.
ridiculous. But I mean, even then, playing an upgrade, playing an equipment or weapon on them, and dealing at one direct damage, they get to choose what damage goes. 3 damage sides, yes, they're all on the lower point scale, but 3 damage sides, 2 shield sides, and a blank. I mean, this guy's just there to mow people down.
Half of his dice are going to have damage. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
You're taking any one of his die sides that you roll every round.
oh yeah,
You don't even re-roll anything. I don't think.
put the blank.
I like
My
it.
blanks.
No, you take the blank every time.
Every time. Take the blank.
Story of my life.
2 resource event for the villains. Sebulba always wins. Discard a support from play that has 1 or more tokens on it, which I think is an interesting way to get rid of some stuff. We've seen lots more tokeny type things come into play.
And some very tricky, some stuff that if you pulled this card at the right time would really ruin some people's days.
Yep.
They're getting ready to do a lot of damage or something.
Backup muscles out of here.
Backup muscles like the least of our worries now. Like
I know now it is. Yeah, it used to be. Whew.
What's the LRK? Every time you hit it, you put a token on it till it does 3. So you can get rid of the LRK first time it hits using this card.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff you can hurt people with.
For
or
sure.
take people's resources away where they're stacking resources. I like it.
That's cool.
The next card is Sticky Situation. 1 resource to play. Yellow event for the villains. Force an opponent to choose a die, then remove a different die. This is interesting.
I like this for 1
There's
cost.
a very similar card for the hand where they get to pick rumors, where they get to pick 1 card and then you get to discard one of the others in their hand. This is kind of a similar idea with the dice. I think it's great. You can choose the 1 die you like, and then I get to remove one of the others.
And the cost is good for it. 1 resource.
Yeah, I think the cost is good.
What this also does, and I think this is more telling, is it can kind of tip you to the opponent's strategy. Like, which die did they keep? Why did that die? If you didn't already know their strategy in the first place.
It's going to ruin people's days when they're trying to special chain.
Special chain?
Yes.
Special chain off the hook.
Not after a sticky situation, your special chain.
So,
this is going totally.
So the next card, we're moving into the hero realm, and I believe this is Kim's most ugliest card of the set.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Jedi Sentinel. It's a 10 health,
bad.
10-point
So
hero,
things.
non-unique blue character. 1 melee, 2 melee for a cost. 1 shield, 1 resource, a special, and a blank. After setup, give a character a shield, which I think is
nice.
That's cool. That's the first time we've seen a character bring a plot-like ability into the game. And then special, deal 2 damage to a character or 3 damage instead if this character has 3 or more shields.
I like the special, although it's a lot harder to keep 3 shields on. Man, it depends. But
with Yoda, I think it could be possible to do more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of...
I'm sorry, artists who drew this and I can't draw, but come on, man.
There are definitely plenty of shield generating type things, but it's interesting. Interesting, and then think about Plo Koon, who can absorb the abilities of non-uniques. So Jedi Sentinel, Plo Koon, now you're giving yourself multiple shields per turn, or just 3 Jedi Sentinels.
Ooh, yeah, that could be cool. The Plo Koon thing, I don't know about the 3 Sentinels. I don't know.
3 Sentinels.
Dang, that's 30 health to try and get through.
Like 3 Death Troopers. Remember when 3 Death Troopers was a thing?
Yeah. And solid blue, I think, is more viable than solid red. Well, I don't know about hero solid blue.
For sure. But you have to compare this card to other cards. The chat's definitely asking why you would pick Jedi Sentinel over Ayla, and I don't think you would between the two unless you really wanted that additional shield at the start of the turn game, which
it depends on
Maybe if it's paired with like a Obi or something where you're trying to work those shields.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. All right.
There's a place for it. I just really need an alternate art to come out really, really, really soon.
You love it, don't worry.
so you don't have
I'm
to...
going to get 100 of these dang things in the mail, aren't I? Like,
yeah.
It's so bad.
Everybody send your extra Jedi Sentinels to Kim.
Oh, God, it's so bad. I can't figure out what's happening. Like,
so we got an article today from FFG that showed us some new characters. We got Leia Organa, Heart of the Resistance. So
isn't that nice?
Oh,
Heart.
2 focus, 1 discard, 2 discard, 1 shield, 1 resource, a blank. 12, 15 are the point values. 11 health, and the power action: remove 1 of your character dice to discard cards from the top of a deck equal to the value showing on that die.
She mean.
She's a mean boy. Was Ruben excited about this from a mill standpoint?
She mean.
Now Leia had the original Leia, but I think it was remove a die to remove a die. I think is what her ability was. I think, but it was a remove something, like it was a similar process, but but it didn't. Now, granted, if you're removing, it's just one of your character dice, so it could be a different character. But chances, so that's going to get what, 2 or 3 cards tops on the high side off somebody's deck, which is still not bad.
We haven't seen a character that's got modified 4 as the character itself. That would be, but that could be now. I mean, even then, 3 a turn just for the power action.
Even 2.
There's 2. Yeah, those discard sides are mean, man.
Yeah.
And remove one of your character. Yeah, and you could, like you said, you could still roll her in, get two discards, and then another character gets 2 whatever, and then you use her power action to the downside, the challenge with the mill going forward is how you protecting these characters. Like, these cool tricks are great, but how are you going to protect these characters from instant death? Because the power creep on the aggro side is crazy.
Shields are the key in Trilogy. I made that up.
Where's my vibro knife when I need it?
Leia gets on an event card, 0 resources to play, red hero, spot 2 red characters, or Leia Organa. Again, there's that syntax there. To resolve one of your character dice, increasing its 5 by 1. So, pretty cool.
And for 0 cost, nice.
For 0 cost is great.
It's good that it's 0 cost. I think it'll see a lot of play at the casual level. I don't know if it's got enough chutzpah.
I bet you see it in draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Great card for draft. Moving into our yellow hero cards, kind of a mixed bag here over the past week. We got Closing the Deal, 3 resources to play, gain 5 resources. You must pass all your future turns this round. I want someone to tell me how this is going to be awesome.
You're netting 2 resources out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unless you can figure out a way to play it for free,
but it's a hero card, so you'd be trying to get the 5 to do something. I don't know.
The chat's going to tell me in about 5 seconds how they're going to make this card awesome.
Yeah, this one didn't do it for me.
I mean, you just play it at the end of your turn and you net 2 resources. I don't see why it's not good. The only thing you're forfeiting is not claiming.
Yeah.
And even if you just play out and someone claims before you, you can easily play this and net 2 resources. I think it's fine.
That's what I think I would want to play it more, is after they've claimed and nothing, like I've already done everything else.
Sure.
But I don't disagree that getting 2 resources to net them is still not a bad trade-off.
You have to hold on to your 3 resources till the end of the turn to play this, but I get it. Start the next turn with 5, and now you got your Darksaber. Okay.
But yeah. I think Chad agrees. I like the idea of I play it after the claims, because then.
For sure.
Yeah.
3 resources to play a yellow neutral event in the Crosshairs ambush. Woo! Choose a symbol, then remove any number of dice showing that symbol.
Didn't we have a card that did this before, but didn't have ambush?
Force Misdirection was a blue character that required you to have a die on your side showing a symbol, and you could remove the opponent's die.
Okay. I knew it was something very similar.
This one is more expensive, but also more versatile. This is basically ambush, like block and dodge all in one card.
Right.
And you're using this with DJ and just doing 4 indirect damage because you just took all their sticks off the board.
Well, and I like that I just get to choose the symbol. I'm not relying upon, I hope my opponent's playing melee so I can use this card. This lets me choose, which is great. Nice.
And most of your yellow decks are resource generators. So 3, while at one point we would say 3 would never see play. This one's worth doing. I mean, if you look at 3 resources, which is what hyperspace jump is, this gets you out of the same situations.
Yeah, especially if they get greedy and if they're getting greedy and they're focusing up a bunch of die too, and they think you have no mitigation, and you play this.
Yeah, they'll have to rethink that.
That hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's ambush, which, like Kim said, we haven't seen that keyword that often lately.
Got a little quiet.
Yeah,
That's true.
but again, I think they're trying to slow the game down a bit. So
Yeah, and this is a card that will do it.
Then quit giving us other cards to speed it up. You got to make up your mind.
Speaking of a way to play these cards cheaper, we have our new 4-point plot, Calling in Favors. Before you play an event that costs 3 or more, you may exhaust this plot to decrease its cost by 1 or by 2 instead if you have exactly 1 character in play. So this is your resource saver here. So you could call in favors on closing the deal and net 4 resources if you only have 1 character left on the field.
But
are you
going to really build a 26 character pairing deck?
If this helps your resource curve like crazy, or gets you like some 3-point events that are game changing, I could see it.
Yeah, I can too, especially in like some ramping deck where you have 1 character that's really getting going toward the end of the game, and you only have 1 character left. You could play all kinds of stuff for a lot cheaper, which I like. Except
that's fair.
Yellow's a little, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in like a Boba Fett deck or something.
Prize Goods is a 1 resource called Support. Yellow neutral action, exhaust the support, and one of your characters to place 3 resources on a support, or to take all resources from it. So again, a great neutral way to generate some resources and fast. It only takes 2 turns, but you have to exhaust your character, which means you kind of have to have a Jar Jar and Ezra that's just there for this purpose. Neither of you like this one, do you?
I like it. I think it's gonna hurt after like 2 rounds and there's 6 resources and someone takes the 6 resources in a vehicle deck and then plays like 2 heavy hitters and then just starts spanking you with all those big supports. But that's the thing, right? In those decks, you're not relying so much on your characters; you're relying on the supports.
True.
So
yeah,
this card
would be great in a 3 or a 4 wide character deck.
Oh yeah,
where the characters are not as relevant.
But what's that card? Saboba always wins. This is how you get rid of that quickly.
That's true. That's true. And more resourcey type cards. We have the support vehicle, the XS Stocklight Freighter. 2 resources to play, a neutral yellow card, Ambush, and then it has 1 range, 2 indirect, 3 special sides, and a blank. And the special reads place 2 resources on the support or take all resources from it. You may take 1 additional action. So it's a very fast way to ramp some resources over time. But like you said, this may make Saboba Always Wins a card that sees some regular inclusion.
Yeah, I think so. We've been asking for a way to get rid of supports, and they kind of fixed it in a roundabout way by giving us supports that put tokens on it and then giving us a card that takes away supports that have tokens on it.
Yep.
Now, to back up one, I will say the chat pointed out something that we missed is with, I think it was with Prize Goods and in the crosshairs. Did I get it right?
Calling in favors.
Calling in favors with the
Yeah, sorry. I read and lost track of where he was, what he would have been hearing since there's a delay.
Oh, sure, yeah. Calling in favors, which is the plot that lets you play events for cheaper, and then in the crosshairs, which is a 3 resource cost event, which is nuts. So you could play in the crosshairs for 2 or 1 resource, depending on where you are in the game. Yep. I think Calling in favors is going to see some play once you find that great 26-point character pairing.
That's the struggle. But then, not with you. It's yellow though, because I was like, well, there's that. Nope, because you're not gonna blue yellow.
So we got 2 more cards here. We've got a hero neutral card, gray, 1 resource. Sorry, I can't speak. Words are hard. It's late. Gray card, 1 resource to play. It is a hero card. Way of the light, and remove a non-hero die. So this allows you to remove. This allows you to remove neutral or villain die that are on the table, which would include upgrades, which would include supports. So seems kind of, it would be weak against another when hero's playing and the card like this may start to push the game towards always playing hero versus villain.
Yeah, it definitely would. It's very thematic, but if hero's strong in the meta, then you're just going to see a ton of hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if this is just an early tease into saying that the game is going to eventually get to the point where heroes have to play villains.
Like you must bring 2 decks, a hero and a villain.
Yeah, most Star Wars games have been like that for a long time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this game was designed to not go that route, so
Right.
I don't know if they actually ever would, but it does make maybe a thematic event more viable.
Yeah, definitely. I would like it if you did have to bring 2 decks and everybody played 2 games. You played your hero versus villain, and then you
That'd be
switch
cool.
it up. Yeah, it'd be kind of like a Netrunner thing.
The LCG did that, right? Or at least in some respects, the LCG, you had to have a hero and a villain, a dark and a light deck. I know the old Decipher game, that was the way you had to have both with you. You could only play one versus the other. But that game was designed that way. This game hasn't been designed that way yet. So
it would definitely be something that you would work into some sort of themed deck for a certain event or something.
Yep.
Well, and since it's like, I think it's Billy. I think that's who this is in the chat to point this out. It's not heroes. You can remove ancient lightsaber too, since it's a neutral. That'd be a decent one to get out of your way. I like that card a lot.
Ancients,
for one cost.
Shotos. There's a lot of good stuff that's out there that's highly viable. That's neutral.
Yeah, I'll pay. I think that's worth.
Yep. And last but not least, we saw a Battlefield Comm Tower claim. Resolve one of your dice, increasing its value by 1 if you spot a plot. So, encouraging the building of plots. This would definitely allow you to have an advantage and your opponent maybe not to have an advantage if they did not bring a plot to the game. I almost feel like this Battlefield is here just to encourage people to start using plots more often.
I think we're still one set away from plots being a bigger thing than what they are.
No, I agree.
We're still one set away from that.
I'm not fully sold that plots are going to be rampant this set, but I think we'll see more of them. I think there's some really good options around some of the ones we've seen.
Right, yeah. The points are more important to me to build a more aggro deck or give me more options than these plots are making it worth.
Yeah, and they're going to have to make the plots worth it. That's what it's going to have to turn into. Now in draft, totally different ballgame because you may not be able to hit that sweet spot number. I see plots way more often in draft.
For sure.
I like it.
So unless someone else has released spoilers in the last hour, that's...
I haven't looked on the interwebs.
So that's... Don't look on the interweb. I would... don't do it yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, so quite a big swath here of cards. It'll be interesting to see the whole set when it comes out. Something else interesting happened this week. Fantasy Flight has been started to let their designers out of the cage a little bit and start doing some more articles. And someone on the Destiny team
let them
wrote
out of the cage.
Well, I mean,
sorry. I was like, kind of.
One of the other designers wrote a very interesting article about Mill and basically acknowledged what kind of play experience that can bring to the game. So I thought it was pretty interesting to hear it from the designer's mouth and to see an article on FFG's site that was very aware of the meta and conscious of what's out there, which was really kind of refreshing to see. So I know that Mill is the thing is here to stay, and then we're hoping to get some more comments from that designer here soon about kind of what's going on with Mill when it comes around to it. But it's interesting. I love seeing that kind of stuff from them. So the fact that sometimes we don't feel like they know what's going on in the meta, but yet these designers are very conscious of how the game's been played. And are they're working 4 or 5 sets ahead right now, and they've already got plans through set 10, and we're only on set 5. So they're designing way in the future, and it takes some time to fix some problems sometimes.
Right.
So, it's very cool. And I mentioned it at the top of the show, but we're getting ready to start a campaign for the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. You can head to thechancecube.com/Nova to put in an early donation. This helps support. They support 3 different charities: the Fisher House Foundation, Doctors Without Borders, and breast cancer research. So a lot of the money that they generate running the Nova Open every year, which is where the U.S. National Championship for Destiny is going to be held. Check that out. Half the proceeds from these donations go to them. The other half will fund the live stream of Nationals from us, and it'll be fully commentated. Unlike our World stream, this will be a really exciting weekend for us there. So check it out. thechancecube.com/Nova. So let's give something away.
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, and I'm not in it for you, Princess. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money.
Give it away, Kim.
First, I know Jason's wearing his Star Wars Destiny shirt, but I'm wearing the May the Schwartz be with you. So
I'm just wearing a running shirt because I just got back from.
Because you running.
Because I just be running.
Yeah, as predicted. More spoilers just dropped as we finish that segment.
I'm gonna. While you're pulling that out, I'm gonna go look at them.
Oh, wait a minute! I gotta scroll down. Okay. La la la. Yeah, I haven't looked at them yet.
Villain.
So since this week we're talking about alternative events, we ask you, what alternative events have you liked the most? And there's some great answers out there. Some stuff about solo. That I haven't really looked a lot into the solo format yet. Some great scenes somewhere. They're limiting you can't play meta decks. I think that's a cool one to do. And we're giving away some of those really sweet looking Worlds FFG tournaments, which I kind of dig. I didn't pick any of those up. So Tim Siddharth, I hope I said your name right.
Siddharth.
Siddharth.
That's awesome.
Darth. It's pretty cool that it's got Darth in it. He said, I haven't been able to play in any of them, but I really like the events that push little played characters to the forefront. I like that too. Like ones that have a particular roster from which one must choose your characters. And I think from some of the other comments we saw, and we'll probably get into the discussion, there are a lot of groups doing that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So congrats to you, Tim. Send us a message over on our Facebook page with your name and address and all that jazz, and we'll get those FFG sleeves out to you.
Absolutely. And for everyone else, it's another week and another question. As we prepare for the arrival of Way of the Force next week, tell us what you think Legacies brought to Destiny. So you can head over to our Facebook page and check out that question. This week, we're giving away a pack of KMC Perfect Fit sleeves to prepare you for your collection. That's the first time I've used Perfect Fit, so I'm really excited.
Are these clear?
They are clear. You perfect fit the clear, and then you can
double sleeve.
Regular hyper, double sleeve. I'm going into the world double sleeving. That will go with my fresh, empty Dex 4-wide binder. Giving away. Getting ready for.
I gotta wait for the double sleeves. It was too much.
Too much. Well,
too much.
It's a lot of effort,
realized
man.
The problem with me and sleeving is that I've sleeved everything in clear because I'm OCD, but I can't go to an event that way, so I have to unsleeve them and sleeve them. So I might as well just sleeve them in perfect fits and then just double sleeve for the events with the opaque.
That makes sense. I like that.
It's a good thing we didn't look at these spoilers that just came out.
I'm already looking at them. They're awesome.
Well, let's just jump into our show topic so we can be done.
All right. Let's go. Oh, wait. A word from our sponsor.
You know, Mike, I just can't seem to get the cards I need in the booster packs I bought. I'm still missing a Mother Talzin, a Darth Maul, and I need some more battle droids. That 5-wide droid deck isn't going to build itself, and I have all these extra Yodas.
Seriously, Kim, I told you. Check out Armada Games. You can buy and sell Destiny cards on their website, shoparmada.com. It's just a few simple clicks and bam, you are done. I used it just the other day, and now I got two Maul Sabers heading my way.
Hey, what are you guys talking about? We're in the middle of a break here.
Jason, you know how you've got all those extra cards from all those booster boxes you open? Mike says you can sell them online super easy.
No way, seriously? How? I've got to make room before this next set comes out.
Jason, whether you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, Armada Games has just what you're looking for. You can buy and sell your Destiny singles all from the comfort of your living room. pre-order the latest sets of boosters, and find the droids you are looking for. You can also check out their selection of Destiny accessories, and you'll get free shipping on orders over $75. For an even better deal, be sure to use the coupon code TheChanceCube and receive 5% off your Destiny purchase. Visit their website at shoparmada.com. Armada Games. Get in here and game.
But you know what I always say. Speak softly and drive a big tank.
All right.
So we're just going to spend a little bit. We spent a lot of time talking about spoilers. So, but we did want to give you guys some inspiration on some new ideas for events that are out there. These are all ideas that have come about local communities, try to get things excited in a meta lull, which is what we're in right now. I know everybody's looking forward to Way of the Force, but it can be a little difficult to get people out to locals. Drafts are hard because people don't want to pay the extra entry fee to get cards they already have sometimes.
Right.
Regular standard events are hard because everybody's playing the same decks. Granted, it's the same 20 decks, which is awesome, but it's still another vehicle deck or another Sabine Ezra or another, now Anakin, Kylo. I mean, people they're done. They're done with that style. So there's been some interesting things that have come about that could be some good ideas for events. We heard it in the Facebook thing. What do you guys think about the no meta deck? I saw an event that ran and said you cannot bring a deck that was represented in the top 16 at Worlds.
I think that's cool. It adds some variety.
Yeah, it makes
some people even
build stuff, something different.
Some people even said none of the characters. Like you couldn't even include a single character. Ooh. Like no Yodas. So that takes out Yoda, Ricky Pilot, Ayla, Rey. Like all those characters are gone from your arsenal, and now you're left with Palpatine.
He wasn't represented in the top 16? Oh, new Palpatine.
No. Are you sure? Oh.
No, none of the Palpatines were in top 16 at Worlds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the format. I think it's cool. I'm going to use it in my league. We'll have something like that. We're going to be using quite a few of these for our weekly challenges. Not
that's
only
cool.
for events, but for the weekly challenges.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea because it was interesting. We'll talk about this probably more next week. But as I was going through our YouTube videos and things that we live gameplay that we record, one of the things we do on our logo is to put the image of the character that was in the teams on the thumbnail. And I realized that I've created 23 of the 24 characters from Legacies for videos, but none of the other sets had that many characters that were utilized. So there's a lot of great characters in older sets that just haven't been played, at that much or at all. It'd be fun to do things like that. Themed events are easy because you can go with standard rules. It's just basically saying choose different characters. Please bring something we haven't seen before.
Right.
The other idea is like era decks. Apparently, there's quite a few groups out there who are doing, only characters from prequels or Rebels or Rogue One or the original trilogy or just the new trilogy. And looking at the artwork too, like you can't, even though Luke is in the new trilogy, it has to be like old Luke. It can't be young Luke in the new trilogy. It's something that's interesting.
It's very
it forces creativity. I don't know. I'd like to see more of this stuff. I think it's hard if your local scene is not really active to really get some movement behind something like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to find your events. You've got to find your community right at the sweet spot where it's like, okay, next week we're going to do this cool thing. So everybody build something new.
You almost need to slip it in. So if you're already active and everyone is there playing on a weekly basis, and not taking away from prep for store championships and stuff like that, but you can't have that lull happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something you got to flip on as soon as people are winding down from those store championships before I'm not getting packs out of this store, I'm not getting this, I guess I'll take a few weeks off, and a few weeks turns into a few more weeks, and then you're struggling to build your community back.
Yeah.
Well, I think this could almost be put on the responsibility of the stores to help move their product that they need to get out, or their all this stuff. I have all these promos that were never given away because they had no way to run these events because they had no energy behind them. So if you get something like this might be something that gets people out to play because it's something different. It's not just the same thing. Sure, you might be winning some of the same promos, but you're doing it differently. Or it might give someone else a chance who can never win because you're always coming out stomping with your meta deck.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm thinking this caters isn't the right word, but this at least invites a more casual player.
Yeah, for sure.
That to your point doesn't maybe they don't meta deck, maybe they like theme decks, maybe whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're not coming out to the store championships. They are, they might win, they might go 1-4 or something like that. And this levels the playing field to an extent, changes things up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and how do you get these people out to how do you get them out to a store championship, right? Because there is a group of people who always go to store championships. They'll travel for them to try to get either as many as they can, or continue to work towards that top 4 or whatever prize level they want to obtain. But how can you encourage your local store to be like, okay, like all the casual players, we're gonna have a store champ, and you may not feel comfortable playing in one, but man, come out, we'll run a side event like this, or we'll make it a spectator sport. Because the top 4, I know I went to a local store championship and no one watched the final game. Everybody was gone. I was like, that's hard, because that's where you want everybody to be like, yeah. But it's hard when you have the top cut and the last game is the only game that's being played, right? How do you turn that into a spectator event, especially if your store doesn't have a lot of technology? You could easily do an overhead cam that streams to a TV off to the side if you want to be, that exciting. But you have to have a community that's willing to kind of stand behind that. And the store champs can be long, and that's hard for some people. Unless you bring in food and make it a day, make it a reason to stay. But these could be it. These could be, if you have a really large turnout for a store champ, have a side event that's 8-man pods where it's bring your Rogue One deck or something. You have to Jyn Erso versus Director Krennic or something crazy.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is for the people who aren't into Star Wars, and you tell them bring a Rogue One or a Rebels or a prequels deck, they might not understand.
True.
And then how do you go do research? Well, then that person just won't come out. They just that would definitely push somebody away.
Well, and there are some, I know at least a couple that they're not as big into Star Wars, but trust me, if you happen to be that person, if you look to your left or to your right, you're probably going to find somebody that can tell you some characters.
Yeah, for sure.
There is at least that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be devil's advocate. Does
right.
sound
that may not bring them out because they're going to feel like I relate to this.
So I'll put a call to action out there. If there's anyone out there, either in the chat right now or who's show later, shoot a message to our Facebook page or send us an email, contact@thechancecube.com. If you think running themed events, if that's a barrier, and you think having a one-stop shop for themed ideas with a listing of what those characters are is worth it, just let us know. We can put some more elbow grease behind it, because that could be fun. But only if but it needs to be something that can be used and useful, and then you can send people to that thing, and here's your primer for a prequel event. Here's the characters you can use and what sets they're from, and it'd be interesting. Just let us know if that's something we can help you out with. If not, then forget I even said it and move on.
No, that's a very cool idea, actually. If you had a little checkbox where you could just hand it over to somebody, and here's all the characters from each set that are available. Use this. That'd be great.
So here's, this is, like I said, this segment's short. We spent a ton of time on spoilers, so hopefully you're not wanting for any more. But this kind of sparked my interest. So the Nova Open is the big wargaming convention that happens in Virginia. We talk about it all the time because we have we try to have a big showing when we go up there and live stream the national championship. This year should be great because it's not going to be 17 Rainbow Nines decks at the top.
Yay!
We hope, unless someone builds a Rainbow Nines like deck in Way of the Force. So
that got weird to commentate. You're like, I feel like I've said this before.
Oh, he rolled out again and again and again.
Here's a pairing we haven't seen. Oh, but it is.
But the organizers up there, so Nova runs all the events. FFG just comes and they send someone to supervise. But they always run something weird. Last year they did a commander style event where it was like 3-on-3 teams.
Wasn't they called like the Emperor's?
Yeah, something, the Emperor's Tournament, I think.
The Emperor's Tournament that never ends.
It was long. It took some time. So they're going in the complete opposite end of the spectrum this year. And they are having a new event they have titled the Destiny Battle Royale. It is a multiplayer event, so it is played very much like the rules of standard Destiny multiplayer. You've got 4 players, you sit in a circle, you battle it out. But the difference with this that makes it a quick event is that you only bring one character.
Yeah, I like this format a lot.
This is interesting. Yeah.
So you can only have, and so to prevent like the Palpatines out there, you can only bring one character, cannot exceed 20 points. So 20 points or less. You can use the elite if it's an elite at 20. Each deck must contain exactly 20 cards, and the same deck building rules. The deck must match color and affiliation of your team. So all these are monocolor decks. You don't bring a battlefield. Ooh. Actually, the TO is going to provide the battlefield for you. And at the start of the round, you roll off for control of the battlefield, whatever the battlefield is. So it's accessible because it's the same multiplayer rules. It's different deck building rules. This is fun. I think this is really fun.
I think it'd be a good one.
So yeah,
I'm just curious how. I mean, it says that it's an hour long. I think that was probably feedback from the Emperor's Tournament that was not an hour long.
Right.
But how you gonna? I don't know. I guess maybe an hour is long enough to do that with only one character.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're gonna run them and you come and you play and like you're the winner of your pod and congratulations, here's a cookie.
Yeah.
And last year with the Emperor's Tournament, they did have those extended art Emperor Palpatine battlefield. So one has to wonder if the battlefield they are providing is some sort of art battlefield that you win as a prize.
Whoever wins the match gets to keep the battlefield would be pretty sweet.
I mean, that's something they could do. I'm guessing. I have no validation that's true. So just saying.
Right.
So I think it's a cool idea, and this is another cool idea that you could run as a side event during a top cut. Mm-hmm. And you could do a $5 entry fee, or you could do no entry fee and just pass out some cheapo promos, or just get some people something fun and quick to play. Mm-hmm. But you have to let them know in advance because obviously you have to kind of build to it.
Right, you'd have to have a little prep in that. You couldn't necessarily pull that out of the deck that you brought.
Right.
Interesting.
I do like that if it is a battlefield, you're playing for that battlefield and it's like an instant prize. So maybe you're still building your record for the day to potentially like win whatever the prizes are for that day, but that's just like a little bounty for that match.
It'd be cool. That would be a great way to do it, right? Just here's your battlefield and your bounties in the center, and whoever is the last man standing gets the prize.
And say they had like maybe 6 different all arts. You shuffle them up and face down and they pick it. And then that's the battlefield that you have to use. Ooh. So you have like the opportunity to win, up to 4 or 6 battlefields during the weekend or whatever. If it's like a longer event, something like that.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I haven't signed up for any, but I know there's some spots left. If you're heading to nationals, these are being run on both days of Swiss and a couple other time slots. And, it's only an hour time commitment, and the entry fee is pretty cheap. So check it out if you're planning on heading up there. I might have to get some of the Chansky folk together and try this out just for funsies.
There you go.
Because I don't know how this is going to go. But, I think this stuff's great. And I wish there was more... I wish there was more official support for this type of stuff. I think FFG could really do some good putting out some more official alternate formats for stores to rotate through, or for leagues to support leagues. Like, Mike, what you're doing out there and what Billy did in RVA is awesome. And I think it helps build the community up, right? Keeps things interesting. People playing week after week for new and better things.
Definitely. And I think FFG's kind of tried to do that a little bit when they did like last year with they released that rule set that had the alternate play formats.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Emperor's, right? That was in that release.
That was through Nova, so FFG's only supported multiplayer.
I thought I had seen a release that had some alternate formats in an official FFG release. Maybe I'm mistaken. But you're right. It would do some good if FFG could release some formats that we could all play off of. And it would be something that is well known, so you can go anywhere in the country and play with the same set of rules or standards. So you're not,
for sure,
going into somebody's territory and they are like, oh, well, this week we're playing this, so you don't know how to play that, so you don't play, or something like that.
For sure. No, totally agree. So hopefully that's a little bit of inspiration. If it's not, then, well, thanks for listening anyways.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up. Let's talk some Star Wars.
Star Wars.
The Jedi! What do you know?
I'm going to say it's like 5 million degrees in this room right now. I'm like sweating it up. So let's get through this Star Wars and get this done. I'll go first.
Kim's a millionaire, so we need to hear about this.
Mike can go first. It's totally cool. I'm good with that.
I'm going first so we can get it done. I'm quick. We're getting quick on this. I gotta show my art off. I got more art while I was at Disneyland. So,
I love that piece.
So it's the Leia looking at the mirror and sees her mother in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that piece. I've seen that one in lots of different formats.
Yeah, and she's a Southern California illustrator. So I really.
She's a Southern California artist. That's good. Sorry, we can't hear you while you're talking through the painting.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I gotta do it like this. She's a Southern California artist. Her name is Ashley Taylor.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very cool. My wife actually saw it last time when she bought me the previous pieces of art, and she said she didn't have any room for this one. So when we went back this time, I got it. And
nice.
The second piece I got was the 40 series picture. That's so you can still
nice.
I'll do it like this.
Oh, the original poster.
That's cool.
Print. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's got the cool little 40 series watermarking
cool.
on the bottom. And that's my Star Wars for this week. I don't have much. It's work is as usual been crazy, so that's that.
Well,
what about you, Kim?
Since Mike's showing off his art, I'm gonna show off mine. So I forgot to mention this last week. I picked this up at Origins. Can you guys see it? Okay.
That's bad.
So it's it's a nice Millennium Falcon soaring from one side to the other. Oh, the Falcon from the classic trilogy.
Yes, he did have. Yeah, he did have. So this is. Hang on, I gotta find my business card. This is Brent and Kayla Woodside that do this. But cool. I talked with him, and he had mentioned that he's done some prints for Disney and he's done some art for Lucasfilm. And I don't know if you can see it because I can't get the lighting to cooperate. But up here in this corner, there's a Han and Chewie. There's a hidden Han and Chewie in the corner.
And as a constellation.
Can you see it? I'm getting closer.
Keep going closer. I can't see it.
Jason, do you see it? Yeah, it's right.
Oh yeah. It's kind of silhouetted.
Oh yeah.
There.
Okay, I see
right
it.
there.
That's cool.
But I could have spent my entire amount of money that I took to Origins in his booth.
But you spent it on this instead, didn't you?
I bought this.
Bam.
And I'm a big fan of Firefly, so I bought the Serenity ship as well. It's the same size, so those are going in my game room.
Nice. I was telling everybody you bought this DL-44 we're looking at.
That I want too. Now, the other piece, he did have a really cool piece that had, I'm telling you this and then I'll talk about that. He had a really cool piece that was Vader standing there, and then it was like his memories, but it had like Padme in it, and then there was another really cool one that had like all the skulls of like all the people that Vader had killed. Like,
awesome.
Dude is cool. I recommend checking him out. I was super nice people and incredibly talented artist. So
very cool.
It's a win-win.
What's his name?
But
again?
no, the other thing. Hang on. It is Brent, and Kayla Woodside. You can find them at woodsideillustrations.com.
Got it.
So, cool stuff, man. They had this in a larger print that I almost bought, but I was trying to behave myself, and I wanted to, so I didn't do it. So the other thing that I shared with you guys that I think Mike might have pulled up, I need to bring this.
Yeah,
article,
it's up.
Is that there was an auction on June 20th. Wait a minute. June 23rd. Wait a minute. What's today? Okay, so that was last weekend. I was like, wait, what's the date today? And they pulled out of storage from an old. It was somebody who was, what did I tell you guys? An art. He's one of the art directors for
Ripley's
Return of the Jedi. And Ripley's, believe it or not, bought the DL-44 that Han Solo used in Return of the Jedi for a measly $550,000.
Chump change.
So I'll be mounting that. Yeah, I wish.
Wow.
So it was obviously, yeah. They it was the top grossing item at the auction. Big shock there.
Wow.
And then there was also there was a holdout blaster used by an Imperial scout trooper. It didn't say what movie. It just said that it was from. That it was just Star Wars memorabilia. So I don't know what movie it was from. That went for $90,625.
Wow.
And we're still not sure if Jason is the one that bought the Ewok prop axe.
Well, I might have been.
That was pretty cool. There was some other cool stuff too, so if you just Google search it, you'll find all the other cool stuff they had.
Wow, very cool.
Nice.
But I knew that was going up, but that was more expensive than I thought that would go for.
What a meat nothing. I have done absolutely nothing with Star Wars. It's sad.
All right, show over. End show.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get out to see Solo again. I want to see it out. I want to see it before it leaves theaters.
Yeah,
I tried to see it up in. We were visiting some in-laws this weekend at a small town in Georgia, and it was already gone from that theater. I was like, granted, the theater only had 4 screens, but still, I was like, please.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought it was still a very new movie.
It is. I guess it's just, Incredibles 2 is better, or not better,
really
but it's newer. So
it is
whatever.
Really good.
Yeah, in the summer it kind of is the new hotness. And Jurassic World came out this week. That was huge.
Yeah, that too. Maybe it'll come back. But anyways, I'm not going back there, so not anytime soon. So it's all good. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining us this week. We hope you got some sort of inspiration when it comes to new events. If not, someone out there did.
Yeah, give us some other topic ideas you want us to talk about.
That's right. Definitely check out thechancecube.com/Nova. Shoot a donation over to help both the live stream for the National Championship as well as the Nova Open Foundation and all the wonderful charities they support. Gamers doing good is always an awesome feeling. And last but not least, follow all our stuff because we got more cool stuff coming, especially with the new set coming around the corner. It'll be awesome. But next week, our last show before Empire War. Sorry, that's flashback. Our last show before Way of the Force. We'll do a little bit of a Legacies retrospective, and then we'll all full steam ahead.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good week, guys.
This has been The Chance Cube, a Star Wars Destiny podcast, a non-profit organization dedicated to building community through gaming. Visit our website for all things Star Wars Destiny, including our price watch, meta tracker, and latest articles from the Chance Cube family. Find our latest videos on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit us at patreon.com/thechancecube. Your patronage allows us to grow this program and help us give back to the gaming community by sponsoring events, giveaways, and supporting our own community building initiatives. This is Mike Hill, the voice of the Chance Cube. Thanks for listening. The Chance Cube is not affiliated with Fantasy Flight Games, Lucasfilms, or the Walt Disney Company.